Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the World Tapping Circle. As you know, I'm your host, Sophia. You are here live streaming with us in the World Tapping Circle. If this is your first time in Circle, please pop into the chat, say hello to us, let us know where you're logging in from. It's always fun for us to see the size and the shape of the circle. And also we want to keep a good eye on you if this is your first time and you're new to tapping, because tapping can be a little bit intense, it can be kind of surprising, and we'd like to be able to support you really well. All right, well, today's topic is working out work. So we tap a lot on, various issues that come up, and I try to leave these themes fairly open-ended so it works for everyone. Today I want to focus on whatever work means to you and any kind of stresses or issues or problems that may be coming up for you around your workflow, whether it be finding work or dealing with work or catching up with work or putting off work or whatever it is that you're doing, dealing with people at work. This will be a great tap for you to come back to in the library again and again, reminding you, as I do many times, that not only do you get a live stream with your subscription, but you have a huge video library full of hundreds of great taps on a variety of subjects, and you're bound to find something that you need. You can play a video library oracle and just go in and scroll through and hit one and go, and I guarantee you're going to be amazed at the synchronicity of how things align up for you by just trusting the flow. All right. I'm really happy to see you all chiming in here. I wish I had time to respond to all of you individually, but we're going to get moving on working out work. So 5 minutes, we're going to jump into the core causes questions. You'll see something pop up on the screen that you can click if you want to do it live. Here in the bottom corner, and also we're going to screen share that for you guys in the video library. See you in 5. Working out work. Hi everyone, welcome back. Glad that you are here with us in our brand new platform. Let us know how it works for you. We'd love to know what it's like on your end. It's looking way better on ours. All right, so we're gonna be processing work-related stress, work-related issues, and we're gonna jump right into the tapping portion right now. So finding a sore spot on the front of your chest, feeling around in the top of your chest for a tender spot, giving it a little bit of light pressure as you massage it, big deep breath. Tuning in to where you're focusing this tap. Repeating after me, even though I'm having an issue with, and then describe your issue. And breathe. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping the eyebrows. I'm having this issue with. I'm tapping the temples. And it's giving me feelings of what? What strong negative feelings are coming up for you when you think about this? Is it stress? Is it anxiety? Is it frustration? Maybe it's exhaustion. Maybe it's all of those things. But pick the top negative feeling and we'll start there. Tapping the front of the cheeks. This feeling of, say it out loud and breathe. And tapping under the nose. I'm open to loving and respecting myself, tapping under the lips, even though I don't like feeling so much, and then say that same feeling. Frustration, for example. And tapping the front of the chest. I deeply and completely accept myself, even with this feeling of, and say that same feeling again and breathe. Tapping the bottom of the front of the ribs. I'm giving myself permission to process what's coming up for me around work. Tapping the side of the ribs. What's coming up for me around work is, and take 10 or 15 seconds and just go for it. Tell us what it is. Keep tapping as you talk. Tapping the inside of the wrist and breathing. Tapping the side of the thumb. I'm open to loving and accepting myself, even though I don't like feeling this way. Tap the index finger. It seems like it started back when, and describe when you think this issue started. Tapping the middle finger. I think that's when it really started. Thinking back to when this all began. Tapping the bottom of the fourth finger. I started thinking what? What did you start thinking? That I wasn't important? Or that I was spinning my wheels, or that I was never going to catch up, or that I wasn't good enough? What did you start thinking? And tap the little finger. And those thoughts led to more thoughts. What did those thoughts lead to? For example, thinking I wasn't good enough led to thoughts of quitting, or fears of being replaced. Tapping the side of the hand. I'm open to loving and accepting myself, even though these thoughts led to more thoughts, which led to a lot of feelings. Tap the top of the head. What are the feelings involved in this? just name some of those feelings right now as you tap. And breathe. And tapping the eyebrow. So let's go through that list of feelings again. Focusing on feeling 1, and then we'll do feeling 2 and feeling 3. And feeling 1 is going to be the most intense feeling. Feeling 2 will be the second most intense, and feeling 3 will be the third. So maybe it was anger, exhaustion, and despair. Tapping the temples, here we go. The main feeling that comes up for me around this is, and say that feeling and tune into that feeling. So if it's anger, let yourself feel how angry you actually are about this. Tapping the cheeks. How intense is that feeling for you? Tuning into it, see if you can give it a number from 0 to 10. Tapping under the nose. I feel this feeling of, name your feeling. Then breathe. And tapping under the lips. And it's really intense for me. Tapping the chest. It doesn't feel safe to express this. Tapping the front of the ribs. It doesn't feel safe to express this. Big breath. And sigh. Tapping the side of the ribs. I've been trained to hide my feelings, especially around work. Tapping the inside of the wrist. I don't want to get in trouble. Tap the side of the thumb. I don't want to upset anybody. Big breath. Tapping the index finger. I certainly don't want to get fired. Tap the middle finger. I don't want to feel these feelings because I don't want what to happen. Maybe you're not worried about being fired. Maybe you're worried about quitting if you let yourself really feel what's there for you. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. Even though I've had to repress this feeling of, and say that feeling number 1. Tap the little finger, because I don't want what to happen. For example, I don't want to get overwhelmed and become incapacitated. Tap the side of the hand. It's okay. I'm open to accepting these feelings as they are for now. Tapping the top of the head. I'm giving myself permission to notice what's really here. Big deep breath, just noticing the intensity of that feeling that comes up for you around this topic. And tuning into that feeling again, tapping the eyebrows, this feeling number 1, okay? Tapping the temples. I accept that part of me feels this way and may always feel this way. Big breath, big sigh. And tap the cheeks. Tuning into that feeling again, see if you can still feel it. Tapping under the nose. I accept this remaining feeling of, and say the feeling. Tapping under the lips, tuning into that feeling again, noticing where you feel it in your body. Do you feel that in your stomach or in your throat? Maybe you feel it in your back. Tap your chest and breathe. This remaining trapped energy of, and say the feeling. For example, this remaining trapped energy of anger that I've stored in my shoulders. Big deep breath. We'll say that sentence again. This remaining stored energy of, that I stored where? Tapping the bottom of the front of the ribs and breathe. I'm giving myself permission to release this old trapped energy from my body now. I'm getting my life force back. Tapping the side of the ribs. I'm allowing myself to clear what's really underneath this. And breathe. Tapping the inside of the wrist, including the experience of what? What did you experience that's underneath this? Did you experience feeling attacked or left out or unappreciated or humiliated? Maybe it was overlooked. What is it that you experienced or that you perceive you experienced? Tap the side of the thumb. Describe that experience, that memory, for 30 seconds as you tap the side of your thumb. For example, I was sitting at my desk, or I was on the phone and someone came in. Okay, keep going. Big breath. Continue talking, tapping the index finger. Continue talking, tapping the middle finger, and breathe. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. I accept the part of me that froze, that didn't know what to do, that couldn't show what was going on inside me, and saved it for later. Tap the little finger. And breathe. Tap the side of the hand. I'm allowing myself to finally process what happened. Tapping the top of the head. To release this stress, anxiety, and old stuck feelings from my body. Tap the eyebrows. I'm allowing work to work for me. Tapping the temples and breathing. Tapping the cheeks. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping under the nose, even if this part of work has not been working out. Tapping under the lips. I forgive myself for anything I did to help create it this way. Tap the chest, including what? What do you think you may have done, or what are you willing to take responsibility for that allowed this to exist in the first place or to continue? Tapping all over the chest and breathing. Tapping the bottom of the front of the ribs. I'm giving myself the possibility of forgiving myself for doing this and allowing this to continue. Tap the side of the ribs. I thought that I had to. Tap the inside of the wrist. I really thought that I had to. Big deep breath. Tap the side of the thumb. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tap the index finger, even though I created this situation for myself. Tap the middle finger, which ended up costing me a lot of what? What did it cost you? Did it cost you time or stress? Or maybe it cost you money? Maybe it cost you reputation? Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. I'm giving myself permission to deeply forgive myself for any way that I chose that contributed to allowing this to happen. Tap the little finger. I give myself permission to release the fear that was driving this whole thing. Tap the side of the hand. So what fear do you think has been motivating you in this situation? The fear of not being able to financially survive, the fear of not being able to let go and move on, the fear of having to ask for help. What do you think it is? Tapping the top of the head. I'm just trying to do a really good job. Tap the eyebrows. I'm just trying to do a really good job. Tap the temples. And breathe. Tap the cheeks. I really want to contribute. Tapping under the nose. And I want to make a good living contributing. Tapping under the lips. To be respected, acknowledged, and paid. Tap the chest. I love and accept myself. I'm releasing this underlying fear that's been tangling things up. Tapping the front of the ribs. I'm releasing this underlying fear that's been getting in the way. Name the fear again that's been motivating you. Tap the side of the ribs. I'm releasing this fear of failing, of not being able to take care of myself or my financial responsibilities. Tapping the inside of the wrist and any other hidden fears that I've yet to mention. Including, what do you think a hidden fear is that you haven't mentioned yet? For example, being a disappointment to my parents. Tap the side of the thumb. I'm allowing myself to release this stress and the fear that's behind it. Tap the index finger. Including having to prove what to who. For example, having to prove to myself that I can do it, or having to prove to someone how capable or strong I am. Or having to prove to my boss that I do know what I'm talking about. What is it that you might be trying to prove? Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. I'm allowing myself to flow, to know what to do, to move with ease and grace, to have things turn out better than I expected. Tap the little finger. I'm giving myself permission to release any part of my ego that's involved in trying to prove, and say again what you think you might be secretly trying to prove and to whom. Tapping the side of the hand. I'm giving myself permission to move through this, to feel good about my accomplishments, to know my value, to feel my worth, and to feel proud of what I'm doing. Tap the top of the head. I really like doing a good job. Tapping the eyebrows and breathing. Let's say that again. I really like doing a good job. Tap the cheeks. I'm open to feeling inspired, energized, tapping under the nose, focused, tapping under the lips, inspired, tap the chest, energized, tapping the front of the ribs and focused. Tap the side of the ribs and breathe. I'm giving myself permission to resolve the stress around, say your issue again. Tap the inside of the wrist. And any remaining feelings of, so let's go on to feeling either 2 or 3, depending on where you're at in this tap. Strong negative feeling associated with your issue. For example, remaining feelings of resentment. Tapping the side of the thumb. I'm allowing myself to acknowledge that I'm still feeling some, and then say what those feelings are and breathe. Tapping the index finger, notice where you're feeling that in your body. Tap the middle finger. If those feelings had a color, what would they look like? Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. I'm releasing these from my, and then say where you're storing them, from my stomach, from my hips. Tap the little finger, allowing myself to acknowledge what I've been keeping there. Tap the side of the hand. Releasing this old energy from, say where you've been holding it in your body again. Tapping the top of the head, acknowledging that I didn't have the time or the place to deal with it until now. Tapping the eyebrows. It's okay for me to acknowledge what's been going on. Tap the temples and how I've been feeling. Tapping the cheeks and breathe. Tapping under the nose. It's okay for me to acknowledge. Tapping under the lips any remaining beliefs relating to this issue, including, and what's a big belief that you have had around this? May not be a very healthy belief, but you've been acting like it's true. For example, like, if I lose this job, I'll lose everything. Or, I'm a fraud and they're going to notice that I don't really know what I'm doing. What belief do you have that's been holding you back? Tapping all across the chest. Say it 3 times out loud. Part of me thinks what? Tapping down to the front of the ribs. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. And tapping the side of the rib cage. Even if I continue to believe that and act like that's true. Tapping the inside of the wrist. I'm giving myself permission to allow things to unfold. Tap the side of the thumb. In a way that's better for all of us. Tap the index finger. In a way that feels light and clear, aligned. Tap the middle finger and brings in more money and more positive attention. Tapping the bottom of the fourth finger. I'm allowing myself to take my work to the next level. Tapping the little finger. I'm allowing myself to take myself and my work to the next level. Tapping the side of the hand. So maybe you know exactly what that looks like and you've already got a plan. Maybe you have no idea what that would look like and you don't even know what the next step is. Either way, I want you to imagine how it would feel, imagining that somehow you figured it out. You got the next steps, you got the help, you got the funding, whatever. How would you feel having done that, taken your work to the next level, organized yourself, cleaned things up, figured out the next piece? How would it feel having done that? So what I'd like you to do right now is feel that in your body. We're going to pre-feel the success, even if the how-to parts are still coming in. And that's going to make room for the details to actually come in. So tapping the temples, and without thinking about it, I want you just to feel in your body how you would feel if it had been 6 months since your work went to the next level. How would you be sitting here with me right now? Tapping into the nose. I'd be feeling really proud of myself. I'd be feeling really comfortable financially. This relaxation in my body. Tapping the chest, I'd be feeling inspired and confident. Tapping the front of the ribs, I'd be feeling interested in letting more people know about what I'm up to. Tap the side of the ribs. I'd feel like I can actually deliver everything that I have wanted to deliver. Tap the inside of the wrist. I'm allowing myself to have this feeling of success, of work really working for me. Tap the side of the thumb. I'm creating the possibility of work really working out. Tap the index finger. I'm creating the possibility of work really working out for me. Can you make your eyebrows go up and down like, yeah? Tap the middle finger. I love and respect myself. I'm allowing myself to feel heartened and connected. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. Energized and inspired. Big breath. Tap the little finger. How else would you like to feel? Go ahead and describe this state of things working out. How does it feel now that things have really worked out? Describe that for 30 seconds as you tap the side of your hand and breathe. Tapping the top of the head. I'm allowed to feel accomplished, proud of myself, and in integrity with my work. Tapping the eyebrows. Feeling good about how I'm spending my time. Tapping the temples. Enjoying working with the people I'm working with. Tapping the cheeks. I love and respect myself. Tapping under the nose. I don't have to work like I used to work. Tapping under the lips. I don't have to work the way I saw my mom or my dad work. Tapping the chest. So let's take a minute and hang out there. We'll go back to creating some more after we clean up the next level. So go into who modeled these type of issues. In other words, going back to your childhood, did you see people in your family struggling in a similar way, talking about the same things, being afraid for similar reasons? And if so, is it possible that you picked up that example, that template, and as children do, mimic it until it becomes their own? So tapping the front of the ribs. Even if I picked up this stress about, and then say your issue, from, and then say where you think you may have gotten that example, and tap the side of the ribs. It's okay. I lovingly release myself from this early example. Tap the inside of the wrist. I lovingly release myself from having to do it the way I saw who do it, the way I saw my mother do it, the way I saw dad doing it, or whoever raised you, my grandparents, my stepmom, my stepdad. Tap the side of the thumb. I give myself permission, tap this index finger, to release this old pattern and say the pattern. For example, burning out or never being able to keep a job, whatever it was. Tap the middle finger and breathe, releasing this old pattern. Say the pattern again. Tapping the bottom of the fourth finger. It's safe to release this pattern. Tapping the little finger. Even though this is what I heard, this is the background of my childhood. Tap the side of the hand. This stress related to their work was affecting my life. Tap the top of the head and teaching me what it was like to be a grown-up who was working. Tapping the eyebrows. I love and respect myself. Tap the temples. Even if I accidentally inherited this stress, tap the cheeks. And this belief, what did you get from watching them struggle? Or watching the way they dealt with things? Maybe things came very easily. And so it's like, oh yeah, things should just come to me. I shouldn't really have to do anything because Dad was given everything or Mom was given everything. Tapping the chest. I love and respect myself. Tapping the front of the ribs. I'm giving myself the possibility. Tap the side of the ribs of releasing the pattern I picked up. Say again where you picked it up. And do that with compassion for the generation they were in, compassion if you can for the time in their life. Maybe they were very young, maybe they were really old, and whatever it was, let's just send out a little empathy and compassion for that human being's struggle and the way it impacted a little child who was growing up in the background of all of that. And breathe. Taking care of that little baby you. I'm giving myself permission to receive new information about how work works. Tap the middle finger. So what new information would you like that younger version of you to have received? And go ahead and say that out loud. I would like my new information for this younger version of me to be that things do work out, or that you do learn how to balance your budget, or that you do learn what and tapping the bottom of the fourth finger. I'm giving myself permission to receive this information now. Tapping the little finger. So imagining this younger version of you having a very different experience. Maybe you just replace that parent with a new version. Or you see your mom figuring it out and succeeding, or your dad taking time to balance his life. Whatever it is, tap the side of the hand. Let's imagine a different scenario for you to have grown up in and how that would feel to your kid self. Imagining that your parents were feeling competent and happy and balanced, that their work was bringing in exactly what they needed, and there was time for the family with food on the table and the ability to travel or take time off. You felt them enjoying their work and still having time and energy left over to take care of themselves and to take care of you. And tapping the eyebrows, I'm allowing myself to receive this new information. Tapping the temple, let's imagine that again. And say it out loud, what you're allowing this younger version of you to now receive. Tapping your cheeks. Tapping under the nose and breathing. And under the lips. I'm allowing this to be easier than I thought, more fun than I imagined. Tapping the chest for things to resolve swiftly and spontaneously through this new alignment. Tapping the front of the ribs for things to evolve swiftly and spontaneously through this alignment. Tapping the side of the ribs and breathing. So we're going to do a quick check-in and see how you're feeling about the issue that you brought to circle. See how you're feeling now. Go ahead and pop that into the chat. So what I want to know is what intensity it was when you got here and where you think it is now. An 8 to a 5, Marie says, much better. That's great. Purple Dragon says a 9 to a 6. Samadhi says a 10 to a 4. Golden Dragon says 6 to a 3. I feel lighter. So we're going to keep tapping. Okay, I'll read one more. 8 to a 3, new platform is beautiful. Thank you. You are so welcome. And Jana is saying it went from a 5 up to an 8 and then down to a 3. Feeling spaced out after huge breakthroughs. Okay, massaging the front of the chest, even though there's still some, and then say what's there for you. What haven't we addressed yet? Is it an old memory that's still really strong? Maybe it's a strong feeling that we haven't discussed yet. Tap the eyebrows. It's okay. Tapping the temples. I accept this part that still feels in the way. Tap the cheeks. So let's look for the hidden benefit to staying where you're at around this issue, to not going any further. In other words, if I don't finish clearing this, it will protect me from having to put myself out there to the next level. Tapping the chest, it will protect me from the possibility of making a mistake. Tapping the front of the ribs, it will protect me from what? Big deep breath. Tapping as you speak. Tapping the side of the ribs. I'm giving myself the possibility of accepting this secret strategy to keep myself safe. Tapping the top of the head. Part of me just wants to stay safe. Tapping the eyebrows. I just want to stay safe. Tapping the temples. I really want to stay safe. Tapping the cheeks. I'm open to loving and supporting myself. Tapping under the nose, even if I'm secretly trying to protect myself. Tapping under the lips and saying again what you're trying to protect yourself from. Is it from burning out? Tapping the chest. Tapping the front of the ribs. Giving myself permission to release the need to protect myself in this way. Check and see if holding on to this fear is actually protecting you, or if it's maybe creating the very thing you're trying to avoid. Tap the inside of the wrist. I'm allowing myself to relax and to let go. Tap the side of the thumb. Allowing myself to relax and let go. Tapping the index finger. It's safe for me to trust this process. Tap the middle finger. Knowing that I will be shown and given what I need as I continue to believe in myself. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. And trust the flow of life. Tap the little finger. I'm giving myself the ability to trust the way things are moving. Tap the side of the hand. Even if I can't see how it's going to work, tap the top of the head. Or how long it will take, tap the eyebrows. I'm creating a sense of safety and stability for myself in this process. Tapping the temples. I'm creating a sense of safety and stability for myself in this process. Tapping the cheeks. Allowing myself to feel safe and inspired. Tapping under the nose, while I continue to grow, learn, and expand. Tapping under the lips. It's okay if I don't have all the steps in place yet. They're coming. Tap the chest. I'm making space for them now. Let's say that again. It's okay if I don't have all the steps in place yet. They're coming. Tapping the front of the ribs. I'm making space for them now. Tap the side of the ribs. And breathing. What is one step that you know, maybe through tapping, is becoming very clear to you? I kind of do know what the next step is. Tap the inside of the wrist. And just pop it out. I feel that the next step is what? Tap the side of the thumb. Big deep breath, just acknowledging out loud again what the next step is. The next step is to tapping the index finger. Notice how it feels to acknowledge the next step. Notice if you have any resistance to taking that next step. Tap the middle finger. I allow myself to process any remaining resistance, fear or doubt around taking this next step. Tapping the bottom of the fourth finger. I'm allowing myself to take this next step. Enjoying the process. Tap the little finger. Allowing things to fall into place. Tap the side of the hand. To move fluidly and powerfully. Tap the top of the head. I'm creating synchronicity and alignment with the right people at the right place, at the right time, with the right resources to move all of this forward with me. Tapping the eyebrows, the right people. Tapping the temples, the right place. Tap the cheeks, the right things happening. Including what? What would the next step be, or the right thing happening? Like knowing what to say, or finishing writing that script. Sending out that request. Tapping under the lips. I'm allowing myself to enjoy this process and to allow it to be inspired. Tapping the chest. I'm choosing to follow through, taking the next step, tapping the front of the ribs, allowing this to be easier than I thought, more fun than I imagined. Tap the side of the ribs, and to be successful. Big breath. Tapping the inside of the wrist. Tuning in again to what it would feel like to have succeeded at this part of your work. What would that look like to others? In other words, how would that impact? Would there be something new on the market? Would there be a new clothing line? Would there be a new place that people could come in and have an experience? Tap the side of the thumb. I'm giving myself this possibility. Tap the index finger, feeling again, imagining, describe it for 30 seconds. For example, the user experience for the World Tapping Circle would be smooth and easy and more stable, and it would look great and feel great. Tapping the middle finger. I'm allowing this to occur. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger because it's good for me. Tapping the little finger, it's good for the world. Tap the side of the hand, it's good for me and it's good for others. Tap the top of the head. I'm allowing myself to have work out. To really have work out. That my work works for me. I'm allowing my work to work for me. Tapping all over the body. Telling yourself some loving, supportive statements. I'm smart enough. I'm proud of you. I trust you. You've got this. Notice how you're feeling. I'd love to hear how you're feeling. Put in the chat how you're feeling now compared to how you were feeling before. What was your number? What is it now? And how are you feeling? Mark says, on a mission, smiley face. Me too, Mark. Lots of people having breakthroughs, feeling more relaxed, clear, and excited. Marie says, I'm down from an 8 to a 2 or 3, feeling much, much better. Shredder says, less scared to have that negotiation conversation. Jana's saying, awesome, down to a 1 and super inspired to keep moving forward. Earthla is saying, down to a 3 from a 9, open in my chest, clear and energized. Angeli's saying, it's more clear that I need to clear space for inspiration to come in. And saying, I feel grateful. Golden Dragon saying, I feel determined. Kim is saying happy, loving myself, trusting my life work. Josie says, I was feeling anxious and angry about work. Now I feel a lot calmer and happier. Feels like a miracle. You know, it always feels like a miracle to me too. I don't know, I'm 12, 15 years into tapping. It still feels like a miracle every time I do it. There's some part of me that's like, well, it probably wouldn't help this. It always helps this and a lot more. And things on my side and my part of the world are moving, and I feel so happy and so inspired because I'm seeing the people of my world learn the power of love, learn the power of processing, and how much more calm and centered and powerful we become when we take time to process our feelings to completion, align with our truth, and make the next step. So thank you for your courage, your intelligence, your bravery, and I can't wait to be tapping with you on our new platform in the next circle. So thank you. I love you, and we will see you in the next circle.